You know, I'm not one of these guys who's like, you can never show emotion. I'm not one of these people who say it's inappropriate for a man to cry under any circumstances. However, I am quite big, and long-term viewers of this channel will know this, on emotional discipline, on having an appropriate time to express yourself versus an inappropriate time. And I ended up stumbling across this video that went viral of a Twitch streamer crying on stream with his wife out of focus in the background over the fact that apparently he looked up some adult content and paid for it that has AI generated images, or like they put the face over female Twitch streamers who are in fact his colleagues. So this has become a controversy. People have become outraged over this. And in reality, I think this whole thing is rather ridiculous, which is what I'm going to be explaining to you guys today. But before we get into that, this video is sponsored, so let me chuck it to the sponsor. One-handed chuck. Bring it back over here, and then we'll discuss this on the other side. Are you struggling with your holiday weight? Well, guess what? You're not alone. Over 52% of Americans have weight loss as a goal for their New Year's resolution. So you're in a boat with over half the adults in this country. And one of the best ways to fight off holiday weight is this amazing powder over at ketowithjustice.com. This helps elevate ketones, suppress appetite and cravings so that you can meet your weight loss goals. And in honor of the fact that we're all trying to lose that holiday weight, you can get this for 51% off this month as our holiday weight discount. That's ketowithjustice.com. 60-day money-back guarantee, ketowithjustice.com.
And then at 2 a.m., you know, I've been watching so much. I've been reading so much AI stuff. I'm reading all this stuff about AI and deepfake music, deepfake art, and everything. And I'm in these discords. And I just feel so embarrassing of me. But I was on Pornhub, dude. I was on a regular ass normal fucking website, and there was an ad. There's an ad on every video for this so I know other people must be clicking it because it's on every video for deepfake thing. And then I click it, and I'm in this rabbit hole. And at 2 a.m., I don't know, I got morbidly curious, and I click something.
So this video, this streamer, who is known as Atrioc, I don't know, I don't actually care at all, never heard of the guy, ended up crying because on one of his streams, he ended up showing his browser, always a mistake, always use private browsing when you're looking at inappropriate stuff, and then close out the browser afterwards, and that featured a website where you actually pay to see simulated adult content, I guess is the best way to describe it, or deepfakes, where they put the face digitally of Twitch streamers over people in the adult videos, and he was watching it. So it happened, and even though his browser was only shown for a short period of time, people end up freeze-framing it, they end up calling him out on it, and in response, he tells this fanciful tale about how he definitely wasn't looking for it, he just stumbled onto it because he was so into the AI art, and AI music.
And there was an ad. There's an ad on every video for this so I know other people must be clicking it because it's on every video for deepfake thing. And then I click it, and I'm in this rabbit hole. And at 2 a.m., I don't know, I got morbidly curious, and I click something.
Look, I know I'm going to come off as incredibly harsh in this video, but here's the thing. I have absolutely no respect for a man who comes on to do an apology, takes no accountability, talks about how, oh, I was just looking into all this stuff and it got in my brain and then I saw an ad and then I clicked on it and I just stumbled into this situation where I was looking at simulated adult videos of Twitch streamers who, by the way, aren't even that appealing, which I'll get into a little bit later. This guy does this stupid apology with his wife crying in the background as a desperate attempt to save his career, and I am not sympathetic to this at all. I would absolutely never shame my fiance in this way. If I got caught doing something bad, I would take accountability on my own, and this all seems rather staged, rather forced, and honestly embarrassing in every possible way, and if I was the wife, I would actually consider divorce, not over the fact that he was looking at these images or videos, but over the fact that he thought it was appropriate to put me in the background as a prop for his apology to cry in the background. It's so pathetic in every way. There's no redemption for this. You could make reasonable excuses and explain what was going on in your tab, but this is just inexcusable in every possible way.
And it's just, it's gross. It's gross, and I'm sorry. I really am. I really am.
It's gross, and I'm sorry. I really am. I really effing am. Dude, seriously, from me to you, from AJW, Sean Fitzgerald over at the Actual Justice Warrior, to Atrioc, or whatever the hell you call yourself, cut it out. Shut your mouth. Relax, pull it back, and just say, hey, look, I was interested in looking at this. I'm attracted to some streamers in a fantasy setting, and it is what it is. I mean, honestly, I would have said his biggest crime is actually paying for adult content on the internet. I think that's the most ridiculous. You can't go on the internet without finding this stuff for free, so this guy didn't even put any effort into it. He was willing to pay for it, and to me, that's the most ridiculous aspect of this person.
It's not, I don't know, it's so embarrassing. I just really want to get across. It's not like a fucking pattern of behavior. And I don't know what I want to say or not, but I just hate doing this on stream, man. This is not what my stream's about at all.
And then we go with it's not a pattern of behavior. I just stumbled onto it. I remember where I was. He's basically recounting his alibi like I do for January 6th for how he stumbled on inadvertently and entered his credit card into a website for adult content that featured, again, deep fake versions of people that he knows on Twitch or people that are in his sphere. And again, him trying to drag his wife up to say something, but her just having so much tears in her eyes is just too much for me. This is probably the worst thing I've seen all year, and I just did a story of a district attorney charging a murderer, allowing him to plead no contest to misdemeanor assault. This is actually worse, just based on the way that this looks and how pathetic every aspect of this actually is.
I just hate doing this on stream, man. This is not what my stream's about at all.
Now look, I'm in the internet content making industry, and obviously in this industry, there's a lot of people who happen to be women that happen to be attractive. However, that's where the similarities stop between me and this guy, because the way that I feel about women who make content on the internet is the fact that they make content actually makes them less attractive. Now, I know that's going to sound a bit crazy because I know some of you out there in my audience simp super hard for females in this space, but in reality, when you meet these people in person, they are physically attractive and everything, but you also realize that they're like married or they have a boyfriend or they're just normal people who are weird and like internet content. And in reality, the luster kind of washes off. And considering I do this job, I don't find that fascinating in another person. Like, I've often told my fiance that one of the things I find most attractive about her is the fact that she's not into internet politics, that when we go to these conventions, she doesn't know anybody, she's not a fan of anybody, she's not really interested in what they do, she's just going to hang out with some of the people that they know, and a lot of times, those are the people who work at Myth Informed because they're around, they're cool people, and they're also not obsessed with the day-to-day minutia of politics. On top of that, when you see male fan after male fan go up to these female content creators, or worse, go up to these female content creators' boyfriend or husband or fiance or any of the following and tell that person to protect her and like try to give him some kind of brotherly praise or something because they're upset that they couldn't get with the person, you realize that that is not who you want to be as a person. And again, it just makes these people less attractive. Now, again, this guy could be significantly younger than me. He could be less happy in his relationship. He could have started making content at a younger point in time than I did because I already had relationships. I was already in a serious relationship before the start of this channel, but all of these things to me should have been easily avoidable, just in that you don't really think of these people in that way, if that makes sense. I mean, think about it like this. Let's say there's an actress that you find to be absolutely attractive, beautiful, stunning in every possible way. That is your fantasy person in your brain that you're into. Chances are, if you actually worked in Hollywood, worked in acting, met people like that over and over again, then the magic, the mystique, the pedestal that you put them on would wither away. So I don't understand what's wrong with this person because he works in the industry, he knows a bunch of these people, and yet he's fantasizing about them. And I'm not going to make any commentary about his marriage or anything like that beyond the fact that this person dragged his wife out there in one of the most pathetic moves possible since Elliot Spitzer or Anthony Weiner.
And I don't know what I want to say or not, but
Just the level of weakness is just something that I can't stomach in this video. Now look, deepfakes and AI are actually a genuine, legitimate issue in this country. I remember this video that came out a few years ago where they were able to put Obama's head on somebody else's body and use AI to generate his voice in order to make him say things that he didn't say. And because a president is on video so often, you could do this repeatedly, and this could lead to dire consequences on an international level. However, I also said quite clearly and publicly on Twitter, so I'll repeat it there, if I were to spot a link of something like this, I definitely click on it. Not because I'm like, oh my god, I gotta see some random porn person with the face of a content creator on it, but because if this is a genuine likeness issue, I have absolutely no shame about sending that over directly to the person and saying, hey, look, this is here, the copyright issue is clear, you should probably take it down. Now, obviously, this is person dependent. If I knew them on a personal level and I knew that they would appreciate it, I'd likely do it. If not, I would probably just ignore it, but the idea that this is like some crazy crime that he watched the thing is, to me, just ridiculous and absurd. Now, apparently, there's some chick called QT Cinderella that is actually suing over this, and she posted a video where she was also crying on stream due to the fact that this gave her body dysmorphia and all sorts of problems, and she's very upset about the likeness rights issues and about the fact that she's being sexualized against her will.
Why? Why?
Now again, don't know who this person is. I understand why she would be upset. I understand suing over the likeness issues and all of that, and I support her in that regard because, again, the copyright issue is in fact clear, and we need some kind of legal precedent against deepfakes before this thing gets totally out of hand. But this led into another controversy where Ethan of H3H3 Productions was watching the video, and then somebody played a song of something or whatever, and that triggered laughter, and now people are mad at Ethan trying to cancel him because they're saying he was mocking this girl while she was crying.
What is going on with you?
Sorry, don't mind me.
If you are able to look at women who are not selling themselves or benefiting off of being seen sexually,
You're a monster, dude.
You guys are crazy.
Why did you do that?
And this is why I genuinely hate controversies like this and how they spread over the course of the internet. The fact is, this girl crying plus that weird music being played is actually legitimately funny. Ethan does not need to apologize for that, yet, of course, he ended up apologizing for it while he doesn't apologize for all the things that he did that weren't funny, that were serious, like calling for violence against conservatives, because that's where we are in this society. You can't ever have a laugh at an awkward moment related to music during the course of a situation that is honestly a bit ridiculous when you boil it down. The guy crying was absurd and insane. Him dragging his wife out there, absurd and insane. This girl's video, even, where she's like overly emotional in the video rather than taking the legal action she needed to take, also, again, with the music, is hilarious, and I don't think this is worthy of an apology.
Someone who I actually really want to support may have felt worse on an already difficult situation because of my careless and very, very inappropriate and gross and stupid behavior, right? And, you know, it's not the first time I've done it. That's what's weird. Like, I don't know why. Like, obviously, there's something a little bit off about me, right? Because I always find myself in these situations where I am doing and saying impulsive things that I regret, right? And oftentimes, I would even go so far as to say that doesn't really represent how I feel. I mean, obviously, I respect and take her very seriously. I just, you know, was really dumb and rude and careless.
Seriously, of all the things that you were going to say about Ethan, of all the positions that you think he holds and all of that, Are you going to really make the case that Ethan isn't 100% on this girl's side in terms of the merits of this issue? He's trying to theoretically produce a comedy podcast. They have a comedy moment, and all of a sudden, Ethan Klein is as big a villain as the company that produced the deepfakes, which, by the way, that is actually the real villain in this case, not the dude who accidentally showed his browser and has to deal with the embarrassment, although, again, dragging his wife out there is pathetic, and that's alone should be a reason why people don't forgive him. But the actual villain is the people running the website that are profiting off of this likeness thing, because if people can make money off of this kind of AI likeness abuse, then that's going to encourage other people to make more of it, and that's going to have this phenomenon spread. So while everybody's directing their anger at canceling Ethan or canceling this Atrioc guy who dragged his wife out there pathetically, in reality, the source of the deepfakes is who you should go after. In reality, maybe you should ask for some kind of proactive legislation at the state or congressional level to deal with this, much like we had to do after the fact when posting explicit images or videos of your ex was a thing on the internet before the Congress actually addressed it. But overall, my take is this. There are plenty of free images and videos to satiate all of your desires for free on the internet.com. Definitely do not pay for adult content, and get this weird thing out of your head that you need to see specific people in these acts, even if you're doing some weird digital face replacement in order to do so. You have a problem, definitely get help, it's time to stop. Cut it out, it's ridiculous, we need to go back to a time like the times of Nail and Palin where you had to just get a lookalike and be happy with that. That's what I'm all about, rejecting the modernity of deepfakes and going back to the conservative trad lifestyle of finding a chick that vaguely looks like the celebrity they're impersonating, and thus them having a successful career off of that. Obviously, I'm just kidding, but again, this story is a bit of a joke to me, except for the actual real deepfake issue, which seems to be being glossed over by all this controversy of this streamer looking at this and Ethan laughing inappropriately and all that. But again, I leave the floor open to you guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, show me by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social media, support me via the support links in the description box of this video. This has been me talking about a ridiculous situation in Twitch. Till next time.